Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a ceasefire for another 3 weeks, but even as that extension was being negotiated, the truce has been unraveling on the ground. That's with multiple violations by both Israel and the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah. Special correspondent Simona Foltyn reports now from southern Lebanon.
The people of Aitit have returned to bury their dead. The temporary ceasefire is hanging by a thread, but it has given villagers in southern Lebanon a brief window to come home and take stock of all that's been lost to Israeli bombs. Lubna Sleiman mourns her brother, Hassan Sleiman, a civil defense worker. He is just one of 100 first responders killed by the Israeli military.
There's nothing Israel won't target. They don't spare first responders, they don't spare children. He was a medic who was rescuing people who were dying, and he was hit. What is the reason? They were clearly marked as an ambulance.
Hassan, seen here in the picture to the left, was killed alongside his colleague Youssef Ali Atawi. Israel targeted their ambulance on March 23rd, but until the ceasefire came into force last week, heavy fighting made it impossible to bury them. Youssef's wife, now widow, is pregnant with their first child. I spoke to her sister, Mariam.
My sister is expecting a baby, her first son. We are very angry. Yusuf was moving the injured and evacuating the people of the village. He was also working as a mechanic. He had nothing to do with the fighting.
Israel killed more than 2,000 Lebanese during 45 days of war. 18 people, including civilians and Hezbollah fighters, are being laid to rest in this village alone. The coffins are carried down to the graveyard to the sound of gunfire, an expression of grief but also defiance. We will not accept humiliation, the mourners chant in an enduring battle cry as old as Shiite faith itself. For many here, Hezbollah, what they call the resistance, is waging a righteous struggle against injustice.
We are the resistance. We will defend our land until our last breath. It's impossible that we'll back down. It's about our dignity.
These communities reject their government's decision to hold direct talks with Israel, which demands that Hezbollah be disarmed.
We can't hand in our weapons because there's no one else to defend us. If we handed in our weapons and made peace with Israel, we know that we would be humiliated. This land was never theirs, not in Palestine, not in Lebanon.
Israel has made no sign of withdrawing from Lebanese land. Following the ceasefire, an IDF spokesperson published a map that appears to delineate areas it plans to occupy indefinitely. The Israeli military has prohibited civilians from returning to dozens of villages south of what it calls a forward defense line. We drove right up to this new de facto border. In the village of Hadatha, 6 miles north of the Israeli border, is as far as the Lebanese army has deployed. South of here is dangerous, we are told. South of here, the ceasefire does not apply. This is the furthest Lebanese army checkpoint to the south. The Israeli military is stationed just a few miles down that road in the town of Bent Jbeil. There is an Israeli drone above our heads, and in the few minutes that we've been here, we've heard several explosions. The Lebanese army is telling us that these are controlled detonations carried out by the IDF. So this means that despite the ceasefire, the Israeli military continues to demolish infrastructure in Lebanon south. The same day, just 2 miles down the road, the IDF killed 2 Lebanese civilians as well as veteran Lebanese correspondent Amal Khalil. Such strikes have sent a chilling message to journalists and civilians to stay away from Israel's forbidden zone. Youssef Fahad Saleh and his family have little hope to return anytime soon. Their border village of Aita Ashab is once again in Israeli hands. It's the 4th occupation since he was born. The only updates he gets are from news reports posted by Israeli media or the IDF.
Seeing this, of course, causes you heartbreak. The enemy is there. They entered and destroyed the land that I grew up on, land I've lived on. It gives you determination to defend and reclaim your land.
Even towns a bit further north that are under Lebanese control remain practically abandoned. Only about a third of the population have returned to Jbeil al-Bottom, the village chief tells me.
Everything is gone. There's no electricity, there's no water, no phone networks. They hit it during the previous war. It was repaired, but during this war, we lost a lot of infrastructure.
People here are scared that Israel might strike anywhere, anytime.
We are sitting here. We don't know if we should stay or leave.
Israel doesn't differentiate between civilians and fighters. This has really affected people, in addition to the damage that has been inflicted on their houses.
Hezbollah has made it clear it will not accept a one-sided ceasefire. Responding to repeated Israeli violations, the group has claimed responsibility for 10 attacks on Israeli troops, both inside Lebanon and in northern Israel. The ceasefire may have been extended, but for the people of the south, it's a ceasefire only in name. For the PBS News Hour, I'm Simona Foltyn in southern Lebanon.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.